Respira is an impact-driven carbon finance solutions business. That means that we work with developers of nature-based projects. By that, we mean projects that are conserving forests or preventing deforestation, primarily in global south countries, mangrove restorations, cookstove projects, etc. And those projects are going to generate carbon credits. We enter into long-term offtake agreements with those developers where we commit to buy current and future streams of carbon credits at set prices. We then have those credits on our balance sheet, and then we work with corporates who are looking to use carbon credits as one of the tools in their decarbonization strategies.
And you know, Respira has been a critical part of the new Reduce and Invest campaign. That's focused on sustainability. It's an initiative focused on promoting environmental responsibility and carbon reduction. So talk to me about what this campaign does and elaborate on it more for our viewers who might not know.
It's really aimed at corporate CEOs. And it is to explain to them why it is necessary to take climate action, what the purpose of it is. We both have to reduce our own emissions, and we need to invest in the voluntary carbon markets if we're going to achieve 1.5 degrees by 2050. So essentially it's trying to get that message across to corporates that they need to take climate action through both reducing their own emissions but also investing in other climate mitigation strategies. So for example, nature-based credits or removals or transition to renewable energy, but essentially it's so that we achieve both.
What would you say inspired Respira to galvanize this coalition to really spearhead this initiative?
Frustration at how much the demand side, i.e. corporate buyers, were coming under attack from anti-carbon markets, NGOs, scientists, etc., who believe that using carbon credits is instead of reducing one's own emissions. Whereas in fact, what we're finding is that companies who are reducing their own emissions are also using carbon credits, are actually decarbonizing at twice the rate. And there is this misperception that one would use carbon credits instead of taking action on a corporate's own emissions. And we have gone from a state where companies are being accused of greenwashing to them. They're sort of saying, well, actually, it's better for us to say nothing, so they're green hushing. But we're now seeing lots of corporates stepping away from taking action altogether because that's the easiest thing to do, and that isn't climate leadership. So we're trying to encourage CEOs to both reduce their own emissions but also to invest in other climate action.
What kind of impact have you seen as a result from this campaign? What has the feedback been?
The feedback has been really positive so far, and really the main sort of message that we've been getting is that they like the simplicity of the message. This sort of whole area of how to use carbon credits has become mired in different acronyms, different words, nomenclature, and it's become really confusing. Are you offsetting? Are you insetting? Are you doing beyond value chain mitigation? Is it a contribution? Is it compensation? But actually the message is really simple. We have to reduce emissions and invest in voluntary carbon markets.
And how would you say Reduce and Invest aligns with the overall goals of Respira?
Well, for us, we want to see real climate action. Nature can provide 1/3 of the mitigation potential that we need in order to reach global net zero, and I think that sometimes we just forget that and we're focusing on taking action in 2040 or 2050 and just use removals at that stage. But the value of reducing or avoiding the emission of a carbon credit today is worth the removal, tenfold the removal that will have to take place at some point in the future. So what we want to see is action today.
And how does this group plan to build or sustain the overall success of this campaign?
We want to have more and more market participants joining the coalition. It has been an informal grouping of like-minded organizations who've come together to fund and support this campaign. And essentially we just need more funding in order to have the campaign go beyond what we've just kick-started now in this month of September here at Climate Change.
And where can our viewers, or anybody for that matter, find out more information about this campaign?
www.reduceandinvest.com. There's a lot of information there.